It was a rainy Thursday evening when Mr. Thompson, a quiet businessman, returned home after a long day at work. All he wanted was to sink into his favorite armchair with a cup of tea and a book. But when he entered the living room, he froze. Two small children, a boy and a girl, were curled up together, sleeping peacefully in his chair, their faces smudged with dirt and rain. For a moment, he just stared, unsure of what to do. His mind raced with questions. Where did they come from? Were they lost? Or worse, abandoned? His first instinct was fear, but it was quickly replaced by concern. These children needed help, and he couldn't just turn away. Gently, he knelt beside them, whispering, "Hey, wake up. Are you okay?" The girl stirred, blinking up at him with wide, frightened eyes, while the boy clung to her as if she were his only shield. Mr. Thompson realized that these weren't just kids seeking shelter from the rain. They were in need of safety, warmth, and care. Without thinking twice, he fetched blankets, warm milk, and a few snacks he had in the kitchen. As he sat with them, listening to their quiet, shaky stories of being lost and alone, a strange feeling settled in his chest, a mixture of empathy and determination. In that small, quiet living room, a decision was made. He would not just offer temporary help, he would find a way to change their lives forever. Revolving hearts. The next morning, Mr. Thompson woke early, determined to do more than just give the children a meal. He knew the authorities could help, but he also sensed that these kids needed someone to believe in them, someone who could see beyond their current hardships. After preparing a warm breakfast, he sat down at the kitchen table with them. "You're safe now," he said gently. "But we need to find your family, or someone who can take care of you." The boy, barely 7, nodded silently, while the girl, around 9, finally spoke. We don't have anyone," she admitted, her voice trembling. That simple statement struck Mr. Thompson like a bolt of lightning. His heart ached for them. He realized these children had been navigating a harsh world alone, hiding in alleys, rooftops, and now, even in his chair, searching for any hint of safety. Without hesitation, he contacted the local child services, explaining the situation and requesting immediate support. But he didn't stop there. While waiting for authorities, he turned his small apartment into a temporary sanctuary. He found old toys, blankets, and even a little makeshift bed in the corner, creating a space that felt safe, warm, and welcoming. As the morning light streamed through the windows, he listened patiently to their stories, fragmented, sad, but filled with a resilience that amazed him. It became clear that these kids weren't just in need of shelter, they needed guidance, love, and belief in themselves. By the time the social worker arrived, the children were smiling for the first time in weeks. They clung to Mr. Thompson, not just with gratitude, but with trust. And in that moment, he understood that one small act of kindness could ripple far beyond a single day, planting seeds that might grow into something extraordinary. Weeks passed, and the children slowly began to open up under Mr. Thompson's care. They laughed at simple jokes, drew pictures on scraps of paper, and even began helping in small ways around his apartment. Yet, the biggest transformation was not just in their smiles, it was in their confidence. For the first time, they believed someone cared about them, truly cared. One chilly evening, as they sat together reading a story, the girl hesitated before speaking. "Mr. Thompson, do you think we could ever have a home like other kids?" Her voice was fragile, almost fearful of disappointment. He looked at her, heart swelling with emotion, and replied, "Not just a home, a family. And I promise we'll find it together." Soon after, he received word from Child Services. A foster family, experienced and loving, was ready to welcome them. But the children hesitated, clinging to the only safe place they had known in weeks. Mr. Thompson knelt down, taking both of their hands. "This isn't goodbye," he said softly. "You're stepping into a life full of love, safety, and opportunities. And I'll always be here for you." The day they left, tears filled his eyes, but so did hope. He watched as they held hands with their new parents, stepping toward a brighter future. The boy looked back one last time, giving him a small, grateful smile. The girl waved, whispering, "Thank you for saving us." In that moment, Mr. Thompson realized that a single act of compassion, simply welcoming two lost children into his home, had sparked a chain of change that would shape their lives forever. Sometimes, humanity shows itself not in grand gestures, but in quiet, courageous acts of kindness that leave a permanent mark on the world. Months passed, and life settled into a new rhythm. Mr. Thompson often received letters and drawings from the children, now thriving in their foster home. Their handwriting had improved, their smiles had grown wider, and each note carried a sense of joy and security he had never imagined possible. One rainy afternoon, he received a surprise visit. The children, now more confident and happy, stood at his doorstep with their new parents. The girl hugged him tightly. "We wanted you to see how happy we are," she said, beaming. The boy handed him a drawing, a picture of the three of them, with hearts and suns shining brightly overhead. In that moment, Mr. Thompson felt an overwhelming mix of pride and humility. He realized that the smallest gesture, a simple choice to act with compassion, had created a ripple effect that extended far beyond his living room. He hadn't just given them shelter, he had given them hope, stability, and the belief that someone cared deeply about their future. Walking back to his now quiet apartment, he reflected on that rainy Thursday when he had first found them asleep in his chair. It seemed like yesterday, yet the impact of that encounter had grown into something far greater than he could have imagined. Sometimes, life places opportunities to do good right in front of us, disguised as unexpected challenges. And when we act selflessly, with open hearts, we change not only the lives of others but our own as well. That evening, Mr. Thompson sat in his armchair once more, this time alone, but with a sense of fulfillment that could not be measured. Two lost children had found their way, and he had learned the true power of kindness. The world felt a little brighter, one small act at a time.